Oh, that's right. It's episode 48. Look at this brand new environment in the lap of luxury. We sit here today with Supreme. How you doing?
Hey, not too bad, Potty. Life's pretty good right now. Just taking it easy. There's a thunderstorm rolling in, so I apologize in advance if there's any loud crashing and banging going on. But how's everything going in Potty's penthouse?
Oh, it's going well in the penthouse and in the world around me. You talked about crashing and banging. Well, we're about to make some big noise with this major announcement. We're having two brand new co hosts join the show. Let's bring them in. Coming into Rinkside, we've got Yodie Logic and Jesse Pinkman. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing good, doing good. How are you?
Good. How about you, Pinkman? How are things?
Oh, it's great. It's fun to be back here again.
Yeah, absolutely. Uh, we appreciate you guys. So I know, people are looking at the video and saying, "Wow, look at these crazy nameplates. Who is behind that?"
Uh, I just kind of whipped them up pretty quickly. I kind of want to change them, but I'm hoping they'll grow on me a little. You know.
I think it takes courage to put a step forward and to like let people witness it. And I think we're all kind of on the same page of making progress. But I really like what you've done so far with like the lighting, the effects, and you took a stance with the font. You could have done something simple. Like I like this. So
Yeah,
salute to
I
you.
like I like the font.
Yeah. And Pinkman, you've been streaming any games lately?
I had I think one last week, but otherwise I'm not really slated for much else yet.
Well, you're the hottest producer in the game, and though you're not producing this episode right now, in the future you're planning to produce for Rinkside. Is that right?
Yeah, right when I was starting to get a little bit of work done in goals, you guys hit me up and you're like, "Hey, you want to join us here?" And I was like, "Well, shoot. I
Get some
could
more
I
work
could
in.
enjoy some more work to do." So, on top of
Yeah.
trying to figure out some replays for the main channel, I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to get going here, and once I finish all that, it's going to hit hard.
Awesome. Well, you guys heard it here first. What we're all together bringing to the table. We've got a real exciting kind of future ahead of us that's just starting to blast off. So thanks for being a part of this journey with us. We do have a great show coming up. We're going to transition into our segment with Guy Clawson. Hey, and we're here with the world famous Guy Clawson. Guy, how you doing? You doing well today?
I'm doing well, man. Yes, I am. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Well, we've had a great run of games over in week 8 and week 9. And, previously we thought, hey, there was like 6 or 7 shutouts and shootouts and, or overtimes. And we thought, oh, how many are going to be over and under? And there were a lot less this week. So great call by Supreme. But our focus here that we want to know is coming up in the future. What are the games our viewers on Rinkside should be watching?
There be about 3 games that the viewers should be watching, and the first one I'm thinking of is Vegas versus Alaska. Uh, two the team top best team going at it. Second game, uh, my team Florence against Glasgow because if I remember correctly, Glasgow gave us our very first loss
Mm.
of the season. So it's pretty much a revenge game for us. And the third one I would pick is Jacksonville versus um
Turku,
Toku. Yeah, yes, yeah,
what do you like about that
yeah.
game?
Because Joey just seems to like own Turku for a very few seasons. So yeah,
Wow. Well, those sound like fun games coming up, and we look forward to having your perspective on the future games to watch in upcoming episodes. Guy, thanks for hopping on, and we'll move on over to our next segment. All right, and we have our plays of the week starting us off. Oh, what is that? A multi-sport athlete with this fantastic second shot, right on the fringe, rolling in. Boom shakalaka. That was Pawtai with an eagle on the fifth. Coming in next up, we've got we've got great clips here. Oh, who's that star? Pawtai on one skate, scoring a goal.
Nice.
No host bias here at all. Coming in number 2. Oh, look at this. Somebody takes a shot. It looks like that was Bacon. Bacon gets it to Minion, then wraps around. There were 22 seconds left. They took the go-ahead goal with Crispy Bacon. And finally, for our play of the week, we got the Tropics. Getting it was at MASH to, Jack Brown.
With the tip up top.
With the tip up top.
Deflection.
Yeah, what a great collection of plays. Now we're moving along to our power rankings. As you can see, these look to be under construction. There's like values in the overall category. Although offense, defense, special teams, and goalie do have their own values. So we've given you the warning on this, but we still think it's pretty cool and it's a slick looking device. I wanted to turn to Yodie and Pinkman. Are there any kind of like dark horses in maybe the offense or defense that you guys think are not underrepresented or underrated, but you think are more dangerous on offense or defense than they might be ranked here?
Well, first of all, I'm going to say I love the value of the 20-way tie in the overall section here we got. But I'll say I thought Rome was going to make a little bit of a bigger impact this season. Beavis has been hyping him up, but it's looking at him now on the power rankings, they're pretty low down there. Just quickly before we move on to anything, those highlights, I'm going to call that out. Totally not suspicious. 3 of the 5 clips are Miami or Pawtai related. And then the other 2 clips happen to involve the other 2 hosts here, the other way, Yodie and I and Sapporo. So not suspicious at all with any of that. Oh,
well, you got us. It's ultimately up to the community to contribute clips, but the show must go on. And hey, I thought that eagle on that golf game was worthwhile of everyone's attention.
That was a beautiful shot, Pawtai. I gotta say, I was pretty surprised when you sent me that video personally the other day. It was a pretty nice shot.
Oh, much appreciated. Well, Yodie, so Pinkman said Rome. What's your kind of perspective on things? Yodie, I think you might.
I was muted.
He's muted.
Sorry about that. I was zooming in. I forgot I was muted. Yeah, I was looking at the offensive and defensive thing, and I just looked all across the board, and you see Jacksonville with a whole lot of ones, and they were on an insane streak lately until Copenhagen broke it. But I think it wasn't really a surprise what Jacksonville was going to do this year. I think it was expected to win. They were expected to win a lot, but I think some teams like Tennessee's offense, I think they're really underrated. They've got a electric first 2 lines, with led by the Swift brothers and Freddie, I think. So they've got a really good team up there. But and I think moving down, if you look at like the goalies, I think there are a few that are really underrated at that back half. Like McBride, and I think there's a few rookies like Joey Duncan and Arnold Schotzenstopper that should be a little higher. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, boys, you should just by looking at the offense and the defense, special teams, and the goalie. What do you guys got for a top 5 for power rankings? Just looking at that.
Well, I think Jacksonville's a pretty clear like contender or supposed championship like expected team, and I think the Sinners and Copenhagen have they've been up and down all year. Florence had that insane, 15-0, or I think it was 15 or 16 wins at the start of the season without a loss. And I think if you look at the offense power rankings, I think that looks like about how the team power ranking should be overall. I think those first five look pretty good.
That's a pretty good good take on that. I'd have to agree pretty much with the offense on that. Pinkman, what do you think?
Well, my rankings based off my heart and a quick glance every now and then. I'd say I'm going to stick here with Jacksonville '1. They were strong all season, and you guys have been hyping them up as well. Florence, they were leading on early, so I'll put them 2. Then I like Glasgow. Sorry, it's misspelled in the stat sheet actually as Glasgow, so no S. So that's why I get that confused. Fun fact for you. I had it in mind too. I like Columbus and Honolulu, but otherwise they're pretty like just based off my heart, not really educated guesses or whatever. It's just mainly what I feel, and I think it would go Jacksonville, Florence, Glasgow, and then Columbus or Honolulu.
Nice. Well, you got to respect a man's opinion. And, those are the power rankings, subject to change, but always dear in our hearts. So let's move on over to the standings, where we've got our conferences coming up. And, forewarning, there are a couple teams on here that only have 30 games recorded. So other teams have 32. But, we can see in first place in the Rocket is Las Vegas with a 50-point differential and 49 points. Second up is Albuquerque with 17 points, or 42 points, 17-point differential. And then Alaska with 39 points and a 13-point differential. So those are all in the green. Everyone behind them are in the red in terms of point differential. If we turn to the top 3 in the Mr. Hockey, these all have 32 games recorded as well. We've got 56 points comes to Jacksonville with a 71-point differential. Copenhagen with 50 points and a 44-point differential. And Boston with 46 points and a 31-point differential. These there seems to be 2 like odd men out from these top 3s when it comes to historical performance. So Las Vegas and Alaska have always been one of the top teams, and then Albuquerque kind of piercing the pack to be in the top 3. I think that one is surprising. And on the Mr. Hockey side, representative, Jacksonville, Copenhagen, OG teams. But then you've got Boston, which is piercing the pack with, only 4 points behind. So good to see a strong demonstration of their performance on the ice. Did any of you guys have any other perspectives to share on our conferences here?
Yeah, the Rocket there. I just want to add in with the Rocket, those 3 teams, Las Vegas, Albuquerque, and Alaska. They're just kind of running away with it. I think we've been covering that all year. As far as the Mr. Hockey goes, like we've been saying, it's just tight all around with Jacksonville and Copenhagen just pushing for to try to break records there, and then Boston, Florence, and Glasgow. Well, more so just Boston and Florence trying to tail end them a bit, and Glasgow, Turco just they're just having good seasons overall.
Yeah, I think this is kind of like the part of the season where a lot of teams, especially those top teams, are just going to keep pushing forward. And it's kind of surprising when you look at teams like Honolulu, who are 4th in their conference right now, when they were like 16th, 17th in the league overall at the start of the season. It was just crazy how things kind of changed and nobody really recognized it. I think some of these teams are just going to keep moving forward, and some of those teams in the pack are going to be left behind when they keep losing,
Talking about Albuquerque over there in the Rocket standings, I'm not too surprised. My insider, Candy Kane, totally not a skewed source of any type. He says Albuquerque is great. Top 3 lines are terrific, minus maybe their 4th line. And then there's Chester Chess, the team's absolute hard carry winning them games. So, it's not surprising to see them too high up in the standings there, in my opinion.
That's a good opinion. I think it's fair. And Candy Cane, yeah, I'd say that's a viable source. I'd take information from him. But let's turn our attention from the pros to the minors. Supreme, why don't you, while this loads up, hopefully now, take us away.
All right, buddy. Let's wait to see what the minors got. For the minors here this year, Prague, Chicago still sitting up front. It's pretty well just been the same thing all year long. Either Prague or Chicago sitting at 1, Montreal 3, Zurich 4, Pittsburgh 5, Toronto 6. It's like I said, it's been the same thing. Chicago, Prague tied with 29 points apiece. And you got Montreal sitting at 26, just 3 points behind them. Just those 3 teams are the only 3 with plus differential, with Chicago at 19, doubling Prague at 8, and same thing with Montreal sitting at 8. So Prague, Chicago still running away with it this year, but hopefully Montreal, my team, we can pull forward and show those boys how it's done.
Yodie or Pinkman, do you guys watch the minors? Do you have any up and coming players you're keeping an eye on?
Do I watch the minors? I happen to be the coach of that 4th ranked team there, Mr. Pawtai.
Ooh, there you go.
Zurich.
It's fairly active. I'm having fun just kind of chatting around with the players. I'd say Zurich, it's kind of ups and downs. We'll get on a couple win streaks and losing streaks. Unlike kind of Sapporo, where it's right now losing after losing after losing.
Yeah. I hear Zurich has some pretty active players in the chat there.
Yeah, we've got I can't remember his name offhand, but he's super active around every channel there in the main server. And then if you knew it or not, one of our members, Triller, I can't remember his player name either. He's if you think my kind of graphics skills are good, he's unreal over in another league I'm in with him. It's unreal what he does.
Let's write him down on our draft board. What, Triller?
Triller, that's his username. He's actually ranked, I believe, number 1 on the GOHLS Power prospect class rankings.
What?
Oh, that's out already?
This was the one from a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
Maybe we should
the
pull
player.
that
The
on.
player you're talking about is Benny Freezelash. I'm guessing.
No.
I think it's
Grab that real
Kari
quick.
Markkinen or something.
Yes, Markkinen.
Oh,
That's who it is.
I think he's I think he's top 3. I wasn't really looking.
Yeah,
but
we
I
got
just
a few
wanted to.
Zurich players on our
he's one
board.
of the.
There seems like a lot of activity going on over there.
Kari Markkinen ranked 3rd. Yep, you got that.
Yeah.
Is he a power forward?
Yeah, he is. He's like 6
He's
foot
going
5
quick,
power
man.
forward.
We love us some
Kari
power forwards.
Markkinen, 6'5", 232, left-handed power forward.
Jeez, 230.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Big boy.
I think I'm 6'5", 240.
There's one guy we have. One guy we have here for Chicago. Well, I have him anyway. Sneeko Bro, 6'9", 235.
Sneeko.
Sniper. Just massive.
Let's look at these power rankings.
Hank.
For a second. I don't know how to get it below. Cheers. We've got
like I said, this is from a couple of weeks ago. New rankings are hopefully set to come out here soon after a couple of weeks. Probably some changes here coming, but
Velvet Dove.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. GOHLS Central Scouting. Interesting.
Justin Carr. I think he's the only draft eligible player that has a letter. I know that for sure. He's the assistant captain over in Prague.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Where are the Montreal players?
Yeah, I don't
Not
see
there.
anybody.
They're silent. Silent killers. They're my boys.
Well,
Late rounders, we'll take them.
Yeah.
No, they're I don't know what. I think we're just more of a defensive team. So I don't think the boys are really putting up too many points. But there's one player I know for a fact is really high on our board and is my wife's character, Hera Supreme. I love watching her play in Montreal because she's 6'6", 235, and she's just rocking everybody.
Right on. Don't be divulging our future potential there. Not
No,
that we.
it's just her. Don't worry.
Are you knocking on the GOHLS Central scouting reputation?
I like it. I'm wondering where that comes from.
It goes good in our favor, Potty. Don't worry.
Okay. Well, let's turn our attention from the minors to the majors with the leaderboard, and we've got Dew up in first, 24 goals. Looks like that hasn't been a lot of. I thought it was 24 last week.
I believe it was. Like he had a
was.
24-18 goal lead.
Yeah, shit. So, well,
No
Supreme and
goals
I
this
will
week.
need to talk about that because
Yeah, what's
gotta
going on, Potty?
keep this man going. We got to feed him.
You taking all the highlights?
I, I guess so, but I need to spread the love. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, shout out to David Leathers and Tom Krieg with 20 goals apiece. What do you think's harder, making a goal or an assist?
Well, I
If
mean,
you're
I'd have to
talking
say
about,
goal.
yeah, boys, if you know anything about playing hockey and stuff, I played hockey my whole life. As far as making an assist, that's just a matter of knowing who to pass the puck to. As far as putting the puck in the back of the net, that's always the hardest thing because that's you're 100% relying on your skill. If not your skill, then your luck. But as far as making a pass, all you got to do is pass it to the other guy, and then they just go with it, and it's just kind of whatever they decide is what you get.
Well, there it is. So Essex Denibola, who has 24 assists, it's like the record doesn't even matter according to Supreme because it's just passing. It's easy. Anyways,
I
Bo
didn't say
Diddle,
it's
Agreed.
easy.
Agreed.
Bo Diddle and Amelia Rose with 21 apiece. So they're second place. But if we go to the points leaders, no surprise in our eyes, David Leathers, the ultimate hockey man, 37 points. He's been the previous MVP a number of times. Just a really nice guy as well. He's come on the show multiple times. Then we've got a two-way tie for second, Blaze Henderson and Amelia Rose. So we're seeing Amelia Rose as a top leader in assists as well as points. And, good for Amelia. Yeah. All right. So let's move along to our rookies. We've got here, as they come up, wonder who it could be. Javad Storm, goals leader with 14. RJ Corker with 10. Then we've got the assist leader of Cam Jones and Billy Hawk with 14 a pair. And we have Javad Storm with 26 points. Ultimate points leader. Are there any rookies that are standing out in your book, Yodie or Pinkman?
Well, I mean,
14 goals? Wow.
yeah, Jesus. I'd have to say, well, I don't obviously watch always for the rookies, but for someone I see, Chris Leone, who we recently traded for from Florence, he's having an outstanding year. I mean, he's up there in points and in assists. So I think specifically he's the only rookie I've really been watching, but I know Storm from a few other leagues, and he's always a beast. So he looks really good in here, and yeah.
Well, shout out Chris Leone. What an accomplishment. And shout out Javad Storm, taking down sim leagues one by one. Bright future ahead. All right, so let's turn our attention to transactions as I load them on my computer. All right, so we had a trade between, actually, we didn't, we had Prague Sabertooth sign Freddie Fantenberg. Good for that. Hopefully we didn't repeat that news from last week. Okay, Leighton Lee was traded to Tony Ragone, as well as a Season 9 Alaska first. What do you guys think of this trade? Trading a first-round pick and a player for another player.
Yeah, it can always depend on the player that they're trading for. Leighton Lee could be, a very active player that might help out San Diego a little bit, and that might be what Alaska saw in him, or just a higher overall, and Alaska trying to make a push. But Alaska's clearly willing to give up a little bit of assets for Lee, so he must be a special player.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So then we had a trade alert coming in today at 9:34 a.m. So Rome received Jake Hill, and Miami received Andrew Payne, as well as a season 8 second from Rome and San Diego. Yodie and Pinkman, I will abstain from this conversation. What do you guys think of this?
I knew that Hill was he was on the trade block for not too long, so I mean he must have been pretty wanted. And I know Rome has been trying to make a lot of trades this year. We've gotten lots of inquiries from Beavis, but I know Payne and Hill have both been good this season, and I think the Maccabees get a good trade, getting 2 second-round picks for next season. So I think that's going to be I know they're looking for picks, and I think it's gonna be good value for the long term for Maccabees, and it's gonna help Rome for winning now with Jake Hill.
It was tempting for us Sapporo to not fall for the siren call. Jake Hill, good asset there. Glad he found a home there in Rome, but just not the right fit for Sapporo. And Miami gets a little bit of a bag from the trade.
Dude, right on. I like these perspectives. I think they're pretty honest, and they're certainly how we saw things. So the pod
makes our decisions feel a little better, Potty?
Right.
The siren call being Potty talking to us about him during chill time.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't know that was bad fortune, but now I know. Anyways.
Well, it's kind of like, the business deals going golfing, like the two businessmen go golfing, try to get something worked out.
Yeah. No, that's definitely true. Yeah. Well, either way, so the pod did release Michael Brown and DJ Mull, who both left the server. The Magic signed Wonder Breadman. The pod signed Stodgy Beans. Lions signed Omelette du Fromage, and maybe that's Omelette. Hawks, had Filthy Yo-Yo, and the pod signed Luigi Romano. Yeah. That's about all our transactions that we have for today. So, Yodie, Pinkman, this was really awesome having you guys on. What are you feeling? And as we close out the episode,
Nothing really.
Am I going?
I'm happy to be a part of the show, and it's going to be a good time, and hopefully we can get some branding looking nice and get all the episodes running smooth, and hopefully we can get some good fan feedback and fan service.
Yeah, I'm also excited for what's going to be coming out here. Hopefully soon. We'll see how fast I can work. I'm sure Yodie can produce stuff a lot faster than me. But coming into the first episode as a co-host, pretty timid. Trying not to start any hate with my coworkers quite yet. So we'll see further down the road if there's any fires to start.
Yeah, no, boys, it's awesome to have you guys on. We very much appreciate you guys joining the team and helping us out. We know you guys are going to bring a lot of amazing change to our show, and but yeah,
right on. Well, to the next one. This was Rinkside.